So it was late September 2005. You guys probably weren't even born yet, which is insane to me. And I had just moved from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles, California. It was my first night actually in California. I was standing out on a balcony overlooking the Los Angeles skyline. It was beautiful. And in the front door of this apartment that I was at walked the most amazing girl I've ever seen. She was incredible. She took over the room as she walked through it, and she wanted to come meet me on the balcony. And as she walked as quickly as she could through the crowd of people that were at the apartment, she came to the door and she walked smack into the screen door. She bumped into the screen door and she fell on her bottom and she flung her hair back and she let out the most amazing laugh. Her name's Rihanna, and I'm now married to her. And the reason why I bring her up is because as we got to know each other and start to date and eventually become married, she early on in the relationship came out as a Christian to me. I was an atheist. And that was the worst news that could possibly happen because I thought Christians were stupid. I thought they were dumb and ignorant. I thought maybe they believed because it brought them some type of comfort, but there was no real reason to believe. There's no proof or evidence for the existence of God. Well, as I met Rihanna and she bumped into that door, I started to bump into reality. You see, as I found out through my experiences with the world around me, Christianity is actually the best explanation for the way the world really is. Christianity is the best explanation for reality. You see, reality is the way the world really is, and reality is that thing that you bump into when you don't live according to it. And as an atheist, as I met Rihanna and I started to ask her questions, I started to bump into reality, and some of the bumps, they hurt. The first bump that I experienced is what I call the bump of stuff, and it's super simple, guys. This is not complex. Stuff exists. The camera I'm looking into, the television or whatever screen you're watching this on, it exists. But the bigger question is where did it come from? Where'd all the stuff come from? The bigger question still is what caused the beginning of the universe? As an atheist, this was a hard question for me to answer because there's only two possible solutions, either something or nothing. And again, as an atheist, I didn't want to say something because the moment I said something, that something I had to take on certain qualities that were true about it. It had to be outside of time, space, its own creation. It had to be immensely powerful, incredibly creative. And before you know it, that something starts to look like something specific. It starts to look like God. And I did not want to say God. So instead, I wanted to say nothing. But who in his right mind says nothing caused everything? It doesn't line up with the way the world really is because out of nothing, nothing comes. This isn't complicated and it's not controversial. Like imagine living in a world where stuff just pops in and out of existence out of nothing. We wouldn't be able to live in it because you'd be driving down the freeway and out of nowhere a cow would pop in front of your car and you'd crash into it and it'd be a mess. I'm not cleaning that mess up. Or imagine trying to do science and observe the cosmos, observe the stars up above and universes and all of these things are just popping in and out of existence. Or imagine trying to observe on a macro level our biology and you have cells and these things popping in and out of existence out of nothing. The world would be chaos. That's not the way the world really is. And I couldn't explain where all the stuff came from on atheism, but Christian theism explained the way the world really is because it gave us more than just nothing. It gave us an uncaused cause. That's the first bump. It's not too hard, the bump of stuff. This next one is the bump of bad, and this is, for me, was the most difficult. It still is, if I'm honest. This is the idea that there's an objective moral depth to reality. As an atheist, I knew certain things were wrong. I knew what happened in the furnaces of Auschwitz was wrong. The question is what did I mean when I said it was wrong? Well, I meant it was wicked, it was bad, it ought not happen. But you see, when I said that, I was appealing to a standard outside of myself. You see, I was appealing to something more than just my personal opinion. But where did I get a standard from on atheism? Because on atheism, all I have is what's called subjective morality. I'm the master of my own ship on atheism. I'm the one who decides right and wrong. And so when I say something is bad, it's the same thing as me saying I don't like Brussels sprouts. But clearly when I claimed what happened in Auschwitz was wrong, it was more than I don't like Brussels sprouts. I couldn't explain the moral depth to reality. Christian theism can, because you have more than just me. You have a transcendent moral law giver. The third bump into reality for me, so that you had the bump of stuff, the bump of bad, and now the bump of me, and this is the existence of the soul. There is an immaterial aspect to every single human being, and I can prove to you that we have it. If you were to close your eyes and imagine a purple and red octopus playing baseball, most of us, when we close our eyes, we can picture that in our minds, right? In our minds. But where is it? That purple and what did I say, green octopus or whatever? Is it closer to your right ear or your left ear? Well, that question doesn't make any sense, because it doesn't exist in the physical realm. It exists in the immaterial aspect of yourself. It exists in your mind, your soul. You see, your soul is that thing that you're constantly aware of every waking moment, because it's that thing that you introspect to, that you think to. Your soul is that thing that cries out for more. It cries out for meaning and purpose to life. But on naturalism, everything is the product of a purely physical process, and everything is purely physical. So how do I explain this immaterial aspect of myself? I can't. But you know what can? Christian theism. You see, Christian theism has better explanatory power when looking at the way the world really is. Christian theism explains the world better than naturalism. Oftentimes I'm asked, why am I a Christian? And the answer is actually pretty simple. I'm a Christian because I met a girl who bumped into a door. And then I bumped into reality as I sought the answers to life's most pressing and important questions. Friends, I'm a Christian because it's the true story of reality.